It's really easy to just hire and not have to worry about the task itself, but it will come back and haunt you in the end. Because every time I do that, we end up losing money. We lost relationship just because we didn't have the right person in the right seat. So I want to talk today about the disadvantage of being a business owner when it comes to hiring. I mentioned it in the past before that, like, when we read resume, it's almost like we're getting catfished because we only see like the good stuff that the people listed. But really the disadvantage is kind of almost like you are investing the money up front and you don't know what you're going to get. You're kind of hedging the bets on this person in front of you just met at maybe 3 interactions at most. And you think that they are capable of solving your problem based on those interactions, right? So the analogy I like to use on this is like, when you go to one of those fancy Valentine's dinner and they always have like a prefix menu, you pay for it up front, right? It's usually like $125 per person. You pay for it up front and they tell you this is what you're going to get. So as a business owner, that's what we do. We pay for a prefix menu. We show up to the restaurant and then what happened is we eat the food, and if the food sucks, we do not allow to ask for the money back. And that's what happened when you hire employees. It's a prefix menu that you put the money up front, and if they don't work out well, guess what? Not only do you lose the money that you invest in this person, you also lose the time that you invest to onboard this person, and this is like a big thing, you also lose a lot of relationship, a potential customer, potential client that you could help serve, right? Because every time when we and I made a wrong hire, I always look at the cost of like financial costs and the time. But the question I always ask is like, show me where the bodies are, because there are bodies everywhere when you make a wrong hire. And the advantage for an employee would be if they come into my company, right? They don't like this setting. This is too much for them. And this doesn't vibe with their vibe. They can just walk to the restroom, go on Indeed and apply for a job immediately. And that would be fine with them. And some of them can even walk out and leave and still get unemployment, right? So either way, like as a business owner, we're at a lose-lose situation. That's why I'm so careful when it comes to hiring the right person, right? And I've heard business owners where they say like, people sucks. I don't want to hire people. I'd rather just do it with myself. Like, I'm not from that kind of thought at all. I think the right people in the right seat are extremely awesome, right? I can honestly say like the people I get to work with day to day, I enjoy working with them. And they get me to be creative and they bring me on my A game. And that's the whole point of that. Like, it's more fun when you get to do with the right group of people, right? That's the key. How do you identify the right group of people? So when it comes to hiring, I have 3 key process, right? That I go through. So at first, you want to hire and you want to delegate the task and you don't want to abdicate the task. So the 2 main difference is that with delegation, you're doing the 10-80-10 rules, right? So the 10 is delegating the task, the 80, the employee do the task, and then the other 10 is you check on the task, right? Where with abdication, you just gave the task to that person. You're like, hey, here you go. This is your thing now. Go do that. And then that's it, right? So in the beginning, when it was just me, that's what I did a lot. I abdicated a lot of the tasks. And with abdication is twofold, right? It's for me is that I don't want to do the work because the work is too hard, or I have something else that I need to do. Like, so for me, I'd rather treat than learn how to do billing. I rather treat than learn how to do marketing, right? So for me, I'm just abdicating the task because I don't want to do it. So for me, I'm just being blind on purpose. But if you want to do it the right way, you have to delegate. And part of the delegation, as I alluded to with the three-step process that I have, is that you got to identify the what. And the what pretty much is, what are the problem I'm facing right now? So you identify the problem you're facing. So whether you have no leads, you have unconverted leads, you have people who are dropping off, you have culture issues, so these are problems, right? So you list out all the problems that you have. Then for each problem, you identify the how, which is how will you go about solving these problems, right? So you list out the solution, which is how will I go solve the lead problem I have? Oh, maybe I need to do a better conversion campaign, right? Maybe I need to send out more emails. Maybe I need to do more workshop, etc. So now you have the how, right? So you do the what, you have the how for each what, and then once you understand the how of what needs to be done, then you find the who. Who do I need to hire to make sure that they can do the how so I can get the what, right? So this is why delegation is so important, because you need to know the how. So that way you can oversee the person who's doing the task, right? So know the how to oversee the who, so that the who can do the how, so you can get the what. And when you do that, you have this system where you kind of know what everyone's doing at all time, right? So at MyoConnects, we have, we have wrap-ups every single day. So I know exactly what's going on in the front. We have wrap-up every weekly on the marketing department to see what's going on in the sales department, on the leads. So everything, I have a pulse on every single thing. I don't have to personally go do everything myself like I used to, but now I have someone else that can actually do those kind of job much better than I can, because they can dedicate more time and more detail to do the job extremely well. The reason why you need to know the how is that's how you keep accountability. This is how you do scorecard, right? How can you manage someone if you don't know exactly what they do? And how can you offer help? How can you coach them up if you don't know exactly how to do it better? I say this based on my own mistake. It's really easy to just hire and not have to worry about the task itself, but it will come back and haunt you in the end, because every time I do that, we end up losing money. We lost relationship, and that's, to me, worth a lot when it comes to running a business. So if I can preserve some of the money and I can build more relationship, especially for patient, that there were patients that I know we could have saved when it comes to relationship, and that bothers me, because I know we can help them at the highest level more than other people can, but we didn't do that just because we didn't have the right person in the right seat. So let my downfall be a lesson to you, and don't make the same mistake. Spend the time, learn the job before you make the hire, and then when you hire, during the interview process, make sure you ask them all these questions. Like, hey, if I have this what problem, if I have unconverted leads, how will you then convert those leads? Tell me how you would do that. If their house align with your house, now they sound like a good candidate, right? So you just go based on that, because as soon as you learn how to solve the problem yourself, you're just looking for someone that are thinking on the same pathways as you. They don't have to be literally 100% on the same answer as you, but if they're like 80% close, 70% close, that's someone that you can work with, and that's someone that you can coach them up. And my role now as a business owner is that I want to coach up my team in every single department. I want to show them, like, hey, I might not know the technical aspect of how to do things. Like, I know nothing about making content, right? Because I create content with my iPhone before, but I do know what the purpose behind the contents, right? So I can coach them up based on that, right? Because that's extremely important. So I hope you guys enjoy this one, and feel free to reach out to me. And please, if you like this video, subscribe, share it. I'm really trying to grow this YouTube channel. I need 100K subs this year, so support me and then share it with everybody.